Hello students, welcome back to all of you in social science class. So dear students, as you know, I started chapter federalism in 10th class civics book. So we are going to do its next part, second part. In previous part 1, we discussed about the definition of federalism, and we also discussed about the key features of federalism, and we also make comparison between the unitary government, state government, and we also discussed about the confederal government system. And I also tried to tell you the distinguish between the powers of both state and the center. Let's do again regarding this topic, what makes India a federal country. So dear student, when we got our independence in 1947, so that time our constitution makers, they use a word when they were writing in the writing the Constitution of India, they use the union of states. Union of states word is used for our country in our constitution book, and they never mention the federation or the federal country. In our constitution, it is not written that India is a federal country. But dear students, I told you in previous lecture, India having the features of federation or the federal country, or we can say we have the qualities of both unitary government system and state government system. Means we have separated the powers, we have given the powers, our constitution given the powers to the central authority and to the state authorities. So regarding this topic, let's discuss what makes India a federal country. Actually the powers are given by the constitution, and in our constitution the powers are written, which powers carried by the central government and which what kind of powers are carried by the state governments or the local authorities. So the powers are divided in 3 different categories, or we can say there are the 3 different kind of lists in which the central government, state government, or even we can say the local authority governments, they are sharing their powers. So first of all, union list. In this list at present time there are 97 subjects, and union list means the powers carried by the central government, means subjects on national interests or the subjects those who are related to the nation, जो पूरे एक कंट्री से रिलेटेड जो सब्जेक्ट्स हैं उनके ऊपर जो कानून या फिर डिसीजंस या पॉलिसी मेकिंग जो पावर्स हैं, दे लाइज इन द हैंड ऑफ सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, एंड दिस टाइम दीज आर द 97 सब्जेक्ट्स. अब ये सब्जेक्ट्स किस तरह के हैं? फॉर एग्जाम्पल लाइक द डिफेंस मिनिस्टर जो है उनके पास पावर्स रहती हैं, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का एक पार्ट है. नेक्स्ट वी कैन से डिसीजंस रिलेटेड टू द आर्म्ड फोर्सेस. So these kind of decisions are also taken by the central government. Even our CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation Department, the powers regarding this institute, they are also lies in central government's hand. Even foreign affairs, or works related to the UN, or participation in international meetings or conferences or railways, national highways, or even banking. So these are nearly 97 subjects, and the policies regarding all these subjects, the decision powers regarding all these subjects, the powers lies in central government hand. So this is the union list, means जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट है वो किन किन विषयों के ऊपर, किन किन सब्जेक्ट्स के ऊपर नियम, कानून या फिर पॉलिसीज बना सकती है, किन किन विषयों के ऊपर वो अपनी पावर्स को यूज कर सकती है. द सेकेंड लिस्ट इज स्टेट लिस्ट. नाउ द सब्जेक्ट्स रिलेटेड टू द state governments. The subjects related to the state governments on which state governments have power to make policies. What kind of? Like police, trade, commerce, agriculture, irrigation, etc. And in subject list, state list, there are 59 different subjects that comes under the state list, or there are nearly 59 subjects on which state governments can make policies. Okay. The third one is, that is concurrent list. Means the subjects of common interest, subjects of common interest. There are nearly 52 subjects on which both central government and state government can make policies. So जो powers हैं, कौन कौन से subjects जो है इस कंकरेंट लिस्ट में आते हैं, जिसके ऊपर स्टेट और सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट्स दोनों मिलकर पॉलिसीज बना सकती हैं. लाइक एजुकेशन, फॉरेस्ट, ट्रेड. If we are talking about the foreign trade, then national government will make policy, or if we are talking about the domestic trade, trade between two states, then state governments can decide their rules and policies. So जो ट्रेड है ये दोनों स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स और सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट्स दोनों के पावर्स में आता है, सब्जेक्ट्स में आता है. इवन एजुकेशन, फॉरेस्ट, ट्रेड, ट्रेड यूनियंस, मैरिज, adoption and succession, etc. So these are a few examples of the concurrent list. On these 52 kind of subjects, both state government and central governments can make their rules. So जो फेडरेशन की जो स्पिरिट है वो हम देखते हैं कि हाउ विच पॉलिसीज मेक इंडिया ए फेडरेशन, वो कौन से ऐसी पावर्स हैं जिनकी वजह से हम कह सकते हैं कि इंडिया में भी जो फेडरल गवर्नमेंट सिस्टम है हम उसको फॉलो करते हैं. द पावर्स आर डिवाइडेड बिटवीन द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट एंड सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट एंड दीज पावर्स आर written in the lists. Which list? Union list, state list and concurrent list. Union list on which the central government having power to make laws or the policies, and the subjects on which state government can make policies, and concurrent list the issues or the subjects both comes under the state and central government. Now dear students, this time we are facing a worldwide problem. Not we, the entire world is facing this problem. The COVID-19 pandemic, we know about this. When this pandemic is taken as a serious threat in our country, then who will make the policies regarding this? जब कोई नया सब्जेक्ट आता है किसी भी कंट्री के सामने, कोई नई प्रॉब्लम या नया इशू आता है, देन हु विल टेक द डिसीजंस ओवर दैट प्रॉब्लम? स्टेट गवर्नमेंट और सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. इस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में एक और प्रोविजन दिया गया है, दैट इज नोन एज द रेजिड्यूरी पावर्स. Means which subjects are not comes under the union list, state list और concurrent list. वो issues, वो subjects जो ना तो union list में, ना state list में और ना concurrent list में, किसी भी एक list में नहीं आते हैं. तो ऐसे जो new issues हैं उनके ऊपर जो rules या policies जो बनाने की जो जिम्मेवारी है वो किसकी है? Central government. Central government will take decisions over such kind of issues. तो कोरोना जब इंडिया में इसको लेकर के पॉलिसीज बनाई गई, तो पॉलिसीज हम देखते हैं कि आर प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी he announces the lockdown in our country. First it is started by the Janata curfew, and the whole country, all the 28 states and 8 union territories, they followed this. जो पॉलिसीज एक नई प्रॉब्लम सामने आई उसके ऊपर जो इन तीनों लिस्ट में कहीं पर भी मेंशन नहीं है, तो ऐसी जो प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं रिलेटेड टू साइबर क्राइम, दैट इज़ द न्यू सब्जेक्ट. इसमें रेगुलरली हम देखते हैं कि हर रोज़ जो फ्रॉड केसेस हैं वो न्यू जो उसके वेज हैं सामने आ रहे हैं. तो ऐसे जो नए जो प्रॉब्लम सामने आते हैं गवर्नमेंट के सामने, कंट्री के सामने जो प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं, तो उसके ऊपर जो लॉ या फिर जो पॉलिसीज, जो रूल्स बनेंगे, द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हैविंग द पावर टू मेक लॉज ऑन दैट काइंड ऑफ इश्यूज. तो जो रेजिड्यूरी पावर्स हैं, रेजिड्यूरी पावर मीन्स वो सब्जेक्ट्स जो ना तो यूनियन लिस्ट, ना स्टेट लिस्ट और ना कंकरेंट लिस्ट में आते हैं, तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट उसके ऊपर अपनी पॉलिसीज बनाएगी और जितने भी स्टेट्स हैं, यूनियन टेरिटरीज हैं, वो उन सबको फॉलो करना पड़ेगा. क्लियर? सो दिस द डिवाइडेशन ऑफ द पावर्स, वी कैन से दिस इज द डिवाइडेशन ऑफ पावर्स बिटवीन द सेंट्रल और द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट. इसी बेस पे हम कह सकते हैं कि इंडिया के अंदर जो फेडरेशन, एक फेडरल कंट्री के जो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स हैं वो हमें देखने को मिलते हैं. एंड इवन स्टूडेंट्स, ड्यूरिंग द इंडिपेंडेंस टाइम इन 1947, nearly 562 the small kingdoms, the India was divided in 562 small kingdoms. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel united the country. And that time some states, those who were added, they were added with a special provision. Example, Jammu and Kashmir, it was added in 1948 with special provision. And we know recently in the article 370 that is abolished by our central government. And now Jammu and Kashmir, as the part of India is attached or united in our country. Now there is no any other special provision for this kind of state. मीन्स जब ये स्टेट बनाया गया था, जब इसको अटैच किया गया था इंडिया में, तो कुछ स्पेशल पावर्स इसको दी गई थी. दे हैव देयर सेपरेट पार्लियामेंट और दे हैव देयर सेपरेट जुरिडिक्शन. जो भी इंडियन पार्लियामेंट में डिसीजन लिया जाता था, लेटर इट वाज डिस्कस्ड इन द जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, जो उनकी असेंबली थी वहाँ डिस्कस होता था. उसके बाद अप्रूवल होने के बाद वहाँ पे उसको लागू किया जाता था. बट नाउ ऑल दिस काइंड ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स दे वर सॉल्व्ड. अब ये इस तरह की कोई भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. आर्टिकल 370 जो है अब जम्मू कश्मीर से हटा दिया गया है. तो ये जो इस तरह की पावर्स दी गई थी उस टाइम पे, तो ये इसीलिए दी गई थी ताकि जो इंडिया है, जो स्टेट अथॉरिटीज़ हैं, उनको सिक्योर किया जा सके, उनको भी उनकी पावर्स मिल सके. ओके, नेक्स्ट, हाउ इज फेडरेशन practiced in our country? Dear students, this time we know 545 Lok Sabha seats, and this time we have 245 Rajya Sabha seats. हमारे पास 545 जो हैं वो लोकसभा सीट्स हैं. जो टोटल सीट्स, कई बार कॉम्पिटिशन्स में क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है कि टोटल जो सीट्स हैं हमारी लोकसभा में, टेल द नंबर ऑफ द टोटल सीट्स इन लोकसभा. द टोटल नंबर ऑफ सीट्स, द टोटल अलॉटेड सीट्स, दे आर 552. बट वी नो the elections conducted over the 543 plus 2 are the NRIs, Anglo-Indians. And for Rajya Sabha we know there are 245. अब ये जो लोकसभा की जो सीटें हैं 543 प्लस 2, अब ये जो 543 जो मेंबर्स इलेक्ट होकर के आते हैं इंडियन पार्लियामेंट के अंदर, दे कमिंग फ्रॉम द डिफरेंट रीजन्स. Now we can say the different regions, the leaders or the heads or the representatives of the different regions, they are representing their culture, their society, their language or particular their region in the central government. हर एक एरिया के एक जो MP सेलेक्ट होकर के, इलेक्ट होकर के जो आते हैं, वो जब पार्लियामेंट में आता है, इट मीन्स now every part of the India is taking its participation in the central government in decision making powers. एक भी इलाका, एक भी लैंग्वेज ग्रुप, एक भी जो कम्युनिटी है वो डिसीजन टेकिंग पावर से पीछे ना रह जाए. इसीलिए 543 जो सीटें हैं वो पूरे इंडिया में पॉपुलेशन बेस्ड उनको जो है मार्क किया गया है. So how is federalism practiced in our country? तो जैसा हम बात कर रहे थे, during the time of independence we know the partition took place and India was divided mainly in 3 parts: East Pakistan, West Pakistan and India. So that time the constitution makers, they were thinking about the unity of the states, to unite all the states. And that time a problem came that time in front of them कि स्टेट्स जो बनाए जाएं, जो छोटे छोटे किंगडम्स हैं उनको मर्ज करके जो स्टेट्स बनाए जाएं वो किस बेस पे बनाए जाएं? पॉपुलेशन बेस पे, लैंग्वेज बेस पे, कल्चरल बेस पे या सोशल बेस पे. सो जो इसका सॉल्यूशन सामने आया, द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ स्टेट्स, इट वाज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ लैंग्वेज. हमने किस तरह से प्रैक्टिस किया अपने फेडरेशन को, किस तरह से हम देख सकते हैं कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स फेडरेशन को हमने जो फॉलो किया, जो हमारे स्टेट्स की फॉर्मेशन थी. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ स्टेट्स, इट वाज टोटली ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द लैंग्वेज. यू नो वी डोंट हैव एनी नेशनल लैंग्वेज. हिंदी इज नॉट आवर नेशनल लैंग्वेज. Hindi, we can say it is a official language, but we don't have any national language. So we can't do this time for this, because the decision was taken by our parliament members that time, the constitution makers. What was the reason? You know, only the 40% people of India, they use Hindi. Now what about the people, those who use Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Gujarati, Marathi, Punjabi, because they don't know about Hindi? If that time the constitution makers declared that Hindi will be the national language of India, then what about the other language using people? They will not accept this. तो ऐसे जो दूसरे लैंग्वेजेस को बोलने वाले जो लोग थे, जो रीजन्स थे, वो इस चीज़ को कभी भी एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते. और उस टाइम पे जो स्टेट्स की फॉर्मेशन हुई, द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ स्टेट्स, इट वाज टोटली ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ लैंग्वेज. 1947 to till today, we see the boundary of different states, they are continuously changing. मध्य प्रदेश, महाराष्ट्र, उसमें से हम देखते हैं कि छत्तीसगढ़ फॉर्म्ड हुआ, बिहार में से झारखंड. नाउ वी कैन से द पंजाब इन 1966, हरियाणा फॉर्म्ड फ्रॉम द पंजाब रीजन. और अभी हम देखते हैं कि जो हमारे पास आंध्र प्रदेश, द लेटेस्ट, तेलंगाना फॉर्म्ड फ्रॉम द आंध्र प्रदेश. So to provide the security to the every community or every language group, so there is provision to make the state on the basis of language, a particular community. And the formation of these states is not only based on the language policy, even they are formed on the basis of the culture, on the basis of their social diversity or on their lifestyle. So जो हमारे जो स्टेट्स की जो फॉर्मेशन हुई, अब तक हम देखते हैं जो चेंजेस आ रहे हैं, सिर्फ लैंग्वेज को हम कह सकते हैं कि एक मोस्ट प्रोमिनेंट फैक्टर माना, लेकिन इसके साथ साथ दूसरे फैक्टर्स को भी ध्यान में, सोशियो कल्चरल जो फैक्टर्स थे उनको भी हमने ध्यान में रखा है. ओके, और इसीलिए हम देखते हैं कि आज भी जो हमारे डिफरेंट जो एथनिक ग्रुप्स हैं, दोज हु यूज डिफरेंट लैंग्वेजेस, दोज हु हैव देयर डिफरेंट कल्चर, so they are enjoying their culture when they are living in a particular state. Punjab, those who are living in Punjab, they can freely use the Punjabi, and we know the tradition or the rituals or the festivals celebrated by the people in the different part of country, they are free to celebrate, no restrictions over them. And that's why we can say the linguist policy to form the states, it can create, we can say on this basis that India is a federal country. Another issue, another topic, point, that is the languages. So the constitution makers, they never imposed any language on the whole country. We know the 40% people use Hindi, but Hindi is not declared as not taken as a national language. So the formation of state, that was primarily on the basis of language, and here also the people, those who belongs to a particular community, a particular to a language group, so they have freedom to follow, they have to they can follow their particular language. Malayalam in Kerala, Gujarati in Gujarat, Marathi in Maharashtra. And to provide security all these regional languages, so our constitution, in our constitution there are 22 including Hindi. Hindi plus 21 other languages, they are taken as the scheduled languages, and like Asmi, Bengali, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Kashmiri, Konkani, Malayalam, Manipuri, Marathi, Nepali, Punjabi, Sanskrit, Tamil, Telugu, Dogri. So these are the total 22 scheduled languages, because these are the main languages spoken by the people of India. And dear students, the mother language, there is a table, data is also given in your book, you can check it. We know the 40% people use Hindi, but the Sanskrit is also taken as a scheduled language, but that never having any data. The Sanskrit language, it is not covering even a single %, not even a single 1% people using Sanskrit this time. But we know the Sanskrit is the mother language of all other languages in our country. And under these 22 scheduled languages, English is not included. In 1965, what happens? Some states create objection. Southern states, because like Kerala, they have a high literacy rate, and during the time of Britishers, the South Indians, some southern states, they were using English for their official language. After independence, so the central government was trying to make Hindi as a national language, but that time the state governments, they were not ready to accept this, and that's why the Hindi and English, now these two languages taken as a official languages, and the powers to the states, they can they can do their maximum work in their state language. For example, Hindi. Hindi is official language of Haryana, but we can do the official work, the state government can do its official work both in English or in Hindi. Same in Punjab. Punjabi is maximum used by the government work, in the government work as official language, but they can use English also. To make a better combination between all the states, that's why English is taken as a medium. So Hindi and English, they are taken as the official languages, and we know there are 22 scheduled languages, those who are taken as a scheduled languages in our constitution. So ये जो 22 लैंग्वेजेस ली गई हैं, इसकी वजह से जो हमारी लैंग्वेज पॉलिसी है, टू प्रोवाइड इक्वेलिटी, टू गिव द प्रेफरेंस टू एवरी लैंग्वेज, दैट्स व्हाई द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन मेकर्स decided to take these 22 languages as our scheduled languages. Okay. Next, another point is center-state relations. Now, under this center-state relations, before 1990, central government having some more powers than the state government before 1990. But after 1990, amendment took place in our constitution, and now the state governments, they got some powers. And a new era we can see in the politics of India. After 1990, we can see this time the coalition government. This process is going on in the government making process. Now, what is the coalition government? Coalition government, when not a single party gets majority in the Lok Sabha elections and not able to show its majority in the parliament, in Lok Sabha, so that time the major party that can take the help of other regional or other national level parties. अब इस coalition government की जो रिलेशन जो सामने देखने को मिला बिटवीन द सेंटर एंड द स्टेट, we know we have two kind of political parties. There is another chapter regarding this topic, we will discuss it later. State polities, state parties, those who are related to a particular state and work particularly in a state, like Shiromani Akali Dal, that is party that is related to the Punjab, and INALO, that is only related to Haryana. These are the regional level parties. And national level parties, BJP, Congress, even Baspa, Bahujan Samaj Party, and Trinamool Congress. So now that is also a national level party. So the criteria is different to which are the national level parties and which are state level parties. So we will discuss it later. So earlier the state governments, the state level parties, they were not having the power to come in the central government. But this time we can see those who are the regional parties, their candidates also contest election for the central government, for the Lok Sabha. Now whatever they got, 1 seat, 2 seat or 3 seat, now they give their support to the national level parties and they make the coalition government. ये किस लिए है? To share the powers among the central, the national level parties and the state level parties. Coalition government की वजह से क्या हुआ, इस प्रोसेस की वजह से क्या हुआ कि जो छोटी पार्टीज थी, जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में नहीं आ सकती थी, नाउ दे कैन कम इन द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. Now the paths are open for the regional parties. By giving their support to the national level parties, the state level parties now they can come under the, they can also form the central government. वो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के अंदर अब अपना रोल प्ले कर सकती हैं. ओके, सो ड्यू टू दीज काइंड ऑफ फीचर्स वी कैन से द फेडरलिज्म is practiced in our country. Now one another important topic regarding this, another thing that make India as a federation country, that is the decentralization of powers. What is the decentralization? Decentralization means decenter, divide the powers, first taken the powers from state and central governments and then give these powers or divide the powers between the local authorities. Decentralization. Decentralization means powers of central and state governments taken and given to local government. Local government means panchayats in rural areas and municipalities in cities. Now under this decentralization of powers, पहले जो पावर सिर्फ एक स्टेट और एक सेंट्रल अथॉरिटी के पास थी, अब वही पावर्स हमने लोकल लेवल पर अपनी पंचायतों और म्यूनिसिपैलिटीज़ को भी दी हैं. वाई? इसकी ज़रूरत क्यों पड़ी? वी नो द पॉपुलेशन साइज ऑफ इंडिया. दिस टाइम वी कैन से nearly 130 crore population of India, and even the UP population, the total population of UP is equal to the Russian population, Russia's population, and even Maharashtra's population that is equal to the Germany population. हमारे एक स्टेट यूरोप के कई कंट्रीज़ के पॉपुलेशन के इक्वल है. तो इस तरह से जो पॉपुलेशन इतनी ज़्यादा है, तो जो लोकल लेवल पे जो प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं उनको सॉल्व करने के लिए, टू मेक द बेटर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ऑन द लोकल लेवल, दैट्स वाई द डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन इज रिक्वायर्ड. एंड दैट्स वाई इन 1992 In 1992, this decentralization was implemented in all over the country under the Panchayati Raj. In 1992, Panchayati Raj system implemented overall in the country. And now we know, you had already discussed about the Panchayati Raj system or about the Gram Panchayat or Gram Sabha in your 6th or 7th standard classes. So we can say to make the better administration on the local level or to solve the problems on the local level, that's why amendment took place in our constitution and the powers of state and center they were given to the local authorities. जो local authorities हैं उनको power दी गई. अब जो गांव के अंदर है that is the ग्राम पंचायत. अब ग्राम पंचायत we know during the election the whole village is divided into the wards in some parts and representative of each ward or the part that contest in the election, and that decides the population of a total village decides the total number of panch, and the head of the members that is known as the sarpanch. In the same place in the cities, in city we also divide the city in the wards, each ward having a councillor, and then the head of the councillor that is known as the chairperson. But this time in some cities we also know the chairperson as mayor. In western countries, in USA, they have the mayor in the cities to look the administration. गांव के अंदर जो सैनिटेशन है, लाइट है, ये जो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं इनको सॉल्व करने के लिए ग्राम पंचायत काम करती है, और टू सॉल्व सच काइंड ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स इन द सिटीज़ दैट्स वाई वी हैव द म्यूनसिपैलिटीज़. जो छोटे शहर हैं वहाँ पे म्यूनसिपैलिटीज़ हैं, जो बड़े शहर हैं वहाँ पे म्यूनसिपल कॉरपोरेशंस हैं. ओके, अब ये जो 1992 में जो लोकल गवर्नमेंट्स बनी, अब इनको कुछ पावर्स दी गई. अब इनकी भी कुछ पावर सिक्योर्स हैं. किस तरह से इसको स्ट्रॉन्ग किया गया? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल they are the constitutionally mandatory to hold elections for local bodies. अब हम जानते हैं कि हमारी जो पंचायतें हैं या फिर जो म्यूनसिपैलिटीज़ हैं उनके लिए हर 5 साल में इलेक्शंस कंडक्ट किए जाते हैं. सेकंड, सीट्स आर रिजर्व्ड इन इलेक्टेड बॉडीज for SCs, STs or other backward classes. Seats are reserved for SC, ST and OBCs. One another feature, one another power that is given to the local governments under the decentralization, 1/3 seats are reserved for women. 1/3 seats are reserved for the women. But this kind of reservation, the seats are not reserved in the parliament. These are only in the local level, only at the local level. Another power we can say that is given State Election Commission has been created State Election Commission. Earlier we have only the election commission for the nation at national level, but this time the state level commission, state level election commission created for to conduct the elections for the local bodies. Now we know the state election commission, it decides and declare the dates for the local level elections. जो हमारी लोकल लेवल गवर्नमेंट्स हैं, अथॉरिटीज़ हैं, उनके लिए जो इलेक्शंस हैं उनके लिए डेट प्रोसीजर जो भी है वो सब कौन डिसीजन लेता है उसके रिगार्डिंग? दैट स्टेट लेवल स्टेट इलेक्शन कमीशन. एंड इवन टू मेक मोर पावरफुल these local governments, state governments are required to share their some powers and revenue with local governments to make economically powerful these local governments. Now the state government will give its some share regarding the revenue or to the local governments, and now the share of powers and revenue with local governments, it varies from one state to another. कोई स्टेट रेवेन्यू में मान लीजिए ज़्यादा शेयर देता है लोकल गवर्नमेंट्स को और कोई स्टेट जो है वो कम देता है. कोई स्टेट अपनी लोकल गवर्नमेंट्स को कुछ एक्स्ट्रा पावर्स देता है और कुछ लिमिटेड पावर्स. बट इवन आफ्टर टू मेक द बेटर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन और टू सोल्व द लोकल लेवल प्रॉब्लम्स in the whole country, we can see under the Panchayati Raj, the local level governments formed in all over the country. So this is also the key feature of the federation, the federalism. So in India, local level problems को solve करने के लिए पंचायती राज सिस्टम जो लागू किया गया in 1992 में, उसमें ये सारी की सारी जो पावर्स थी इनको सिक्योर किया गया लोकल बॉडीज़ के लिए. इनको और पावरफुल बनाने के लिए जो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स हैं उनकी कुछ पावर्स और कुछ शेयर जो है रेवेन्यू का वो भी उनमें दिया गया. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, सो दीज आर ऑल द फीचर्स दैट मेक इंडिया एज ए फेडरल कंट्री. बट वी नो in our constitution there is no any federation or the federalism or the federal country, any federal word is used for our country in constitution. लेकिन फिर भी due to these kind of features we can say India is a federal country. Okay, so I think this is all about this chapter. If you feel any problem or if you have any query, so you can leave your message or you can leave your comment. Okay students, till then, goodbye.